None of those, let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends. Girl, you got it. Let them know that everything big. Nail done, hair done, everything big. Am I in?
What's up, YouTube? So, today I am not too sure what I'm gonna be working. I took the last 2 days off because of ice, and fortunately I was really productive. I was able to organize my office. It's definitely ready for like a revamp. You know, for my business, I'm trying to like shift things. I think I'm going to veer my photography to be more so action shots and creative and like out of the box portraits, like really raw, you know, gritty, get down into it, because a lot of photographers around here just do the same thing. They're basic, it's portraits, you know, but I'm trying something new, you know, something to bring profit, banners, things of that nature. So anyway, it's been a crazy couple days, to say the least. My husband's been stuck at work since, I guess, Friday afternoon, and I haven't had an opportunity to see him because of the ice and the state of emergency or whatever type of work he does requires him to just, you know, have to be there. He's an industrial operator. So I have, although I have missed him dearly, definitely been productive, definitely been able to do some shifting in my routine. That's been beneficial, you know, stuff that I've been saying I'm gonna do but haven't. So yeah, I'm learning a lot about balance, how important that balance is. You know, it made me feel good. You know, movement other than just in the gym really made me feel good. It was different. So there's that. And anyway, while I was cleaning out my closet, I came across an old purse that my oldest daughter used. And, you know, it was kind of like, I don't know, a moment that just, I had paused, and I just sat in. And, you know, she had glitter and, you know, a little bracelet that she had made with string and beads, and it said Bebe, because we used to call her Bebe. And just fuzzy stuff. And, you know, I stopped in that moment and I was like, how did she go from that, you know, sweet, precious little girl, to, you know, addiction, and also having this narcissistic attachment to this boy? I just don't understand, you know, like, but anyway, so my closet is like where I pray hardest. So it's good that I had time to clean and really organize, you know, and just make it just make sense again. So I took that bracelet and I put it on one of my frames in there so I could see it every day as a reminder, you know, that she wasn't born this way, and she was not. She, deep down inside, she's still this wonderful girl, this wonderful little girl, and I know that she has potential. But, you know, you ever stopped in prayer or stopped and thought, maybe I need to pray about something right now, and you yield to that, and boy, you just feel your prayer making it to the heavens. Like, you feel it, you know that God's hearing it. I had one of those moments today when I was getting ready for the gym. And anyway, I just really wanted to share that with y'all. That small moment. Remember that the people, you know, the addicts in your life, you know, they weren't born, or they didn't want to grow up and become this way, you know. It's very unfortunate. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's a life that they are choosing. But it's very important that although you need to set boundaries for yourself and continue to focus on what's best for you and your mind and the rest of your family, it's also important to not lose hope or faith, or don't discontinue praying for them. Know that God has a purpose. He does not make mistakes, and whatever the devil meant to destroy that said person, or whatever he's thrown like up in your face, God's gonna take it. He's gonna turn it around for the good, and you just have to walk in that mindset and trust that whatever happens and whatever he is doing is made a part of his big perfect plan. So anyway, I want to remind y'all, my newbies that are still in the gym and going strong, I'm proud of you. Continue to do that. Don't let the cold, don't let the hate, don't let the dark times or the circumstances around you stop your flow. Keep going. Self-love is important. And I think something that I really, really want to be said and all of y'all to retain is, your worth doesn't have to be, your worth is not earned. You were born worthy. You don't have to earn your worth. That is not something earned. You are worthy. That's something that everyone has and everyone is born with, is self-worth. So there's nothing you have done or did or maybe even currently doing that sets you short of that. Now is a good time, right now, to change small patterns in your life that will eventually evolve you into being better, that better version of you. Remember that the haters, they're out there, they're watching you, and whether they hate you or not, it's very, very important. Like the hate that you might be getting or the negativity you may be getting, that is null and void, but they too are watching you, and you may be surprised they could be learning from you too. And instead of reciprocating the energy that they want you to feed into, I think that it's best, the best payback is to just continue to walk forward and improving you and being your best self. It's not about them, it's about you. But the more they see you evolving and focusing on you and exercising self-love, you might be surprised. They may learn and assess their situation and want to change their life for the better too. Remember that change, making the world a better place, it really does truly start with you, and how you go about things and how you're feeling about yourself. It's contagious, so be the good kind of contagious. But anyway, we're gonna get in there, for sure, focus on core, because y'all know how I've been feeling about this bulk. It's got me in my feelings because I'm kind of getting fluff around my abs, but probably gonna destroy some legs depending on the leg machine availability in there. We've had some equipment that's been down for quite some time, so it just depends. But yeah, let's go kill it. So I always start off warming up due to my knees cracking and old age. Haha, just kidding. Not quite, but almost. I put my heels on an incline because I feel like I get more of a rounded hit, more so in my quads, and I feel it in my glutes too, but a lot of my issue is my flat feet, and only one of my ankles have been reconstructed and corrected, so I have to really focus on evenly distributed weight when I go to do this. So given my recent heart oops and my hospital stay, I've been focusing a lot more on my sodium. The amount of water is not just a factor for me, but how much sodium intake is very important to get me through, especially leg day. So notice I've been carrying around my Stanley, my pink Stanley, like a weenie. So notice what I'm doing next. Man, how I love that bar on my tight traps, finding that right spot. But I'm trying to get the squat bar to the proper level for what I feel most comfortable and confident doing. My husband still to this day can't find that right placement of that bar on his shoulders. I'll never understand that. But I'm pretty big on this next exercise. I don't even know what you really call it, but it's not lunges, but basically an isolated squat. I do not go too low because I'm just trying to get my knees warmed up and ready for the heavy weight to come. So lightweight always. Remember, it's important to listen to your body. Especially when you have knee issues or like ankle problems, or a history of them like I did. And I like the burn I get. I feel the blood really circulating. But notice I am very frustrated right here. I'm not ready for this. I'm about fed up with leg day, and I'm only through my warm-ups. Oh, let me take a moment and pose so I can see that pretty little ab line that's still sort of there. Okay, so right about now, I'm fed up and continuing to talk myself into continuing leg day. But here I am stretching my shoulders and all my ligaments. And let me just, kind of get a good stretch. Upper body could use it always. Look at that pretty upper body. If only my legs would respond to workouts like my upper body. Anyway, let's continue. So my heart rate was going up a little bit. It's important to monitor that because I want to make sure I'm building muscle. I know it's important to burn calories too, but I am really trying to maintain my calories considering I've lost a pound this week instead of gained one. So I'm going to sit down, let things kind of go down, and drink water. My 2026 goal is to definitely have flawless shoulders. So I do always do a set of these. Normally I do it with weight on shoulder days specifically, but I only exercise the bar on other body part days. Y'all need to remember that is not a norm exercise. Women in there doing it tend to forget form is everything. So let's continue. Okay, so we completed some heavy squats, heavy leg extensions, heavy glute, back extensions. We did some presses. The reason why I turned my camera off is because I really didn't want to be distracted. I had a lot of people up in my bubble as well, and people talk to me. But here is my core routine. I always finish with core. I have a core circuit. I've been really focusing on that. Here's that, guys. Enjoy the rest. And please stay tuned for our after workout chat. Gonna add some audio too, just for the sake of it, guys. Enjoy.
They don't get it, they don't see how I'm calm when the storm hits me. World's on fire, but I ain't breaking. Peace of God, no man can take it. They don't get it, they don't see how I'm calm when the storm hits me. World's on fire, but I ain't breaking. Peace of God, no man can take it. Out of walking where the shadows creep, but I don't lose rest, I still find sleep. Pressure heavy, but my soul don't fold. Got a treasure deep down this world can't hold. Hate flying rumors loud in the street, but I hear his whisper, my spirit's complete.
Okay, so today I ended up destroying my legs. I was very humbled. Look at that beautiful sunset. I was very humbled by leg day today. So I've been really spreading out how often I do legs. Not only because, well, of course it's not because I hate it, because I do it regardless of whether I like it or not. I noticed that the more time I was giving my legs to recover, the more growth I was seeing. Strangely enough though, after my workout, after hydration, at the end of the day, it seems I have lost a pound this week, which is really strange because with my bulk, with my surplus eating, I was averaging 1.2 pounds a week. So I had gone from my cut weight, which was 120, down to or up to 129, and it was a really good average pace, so I am kind of wondering what's up, but it's really not the end of the world, because if I pace it a little more, it'll give me extra time to really focus on the bulk. I don't want to hurry up and gain all my weight at once and then be okay, what's next? I want to make sure that I'm the strength and the intensity that's increasing with my bulk is actually building muscle. I go back and I reflect on my pictures when I was a healthy 138 before my cut, and although I didn't have my really defined abs and there was a little less definition, I will say I looked stronger. I looked full. you could look at me and be like, yeah, she works out. But you could also look at me and be like, she also isn't like stage prep or anything. So, yeah, I don't know where I stand or what my desires are currently, because I miss that look. But then I mean, abs and shoulders and chest lines and all that also, that screams discipline. You know what I'm saying? And I know that both takes discipline, both eating and both working out, and, you know, all of it is a consistent flow of just discipline on days that you're motivated and not motivated. I know that. But I just haven't quite figured out what I want to look like this summer. Maybe I'm just gonna give it to God. I know that recently I was sitting around thinking, like, you know, what is my purpose? Like, you know, I've raised these kids, and I've been a good wife, and I've learned a lot about myself, things I needed to grow and evolve into, things I needed to overcome, letting go. Like, I've really come a long way. I was sitting and I was realizing, like, when I was thinking about, do I want to be competitive on stage? Do I want to possibly try to powerlift and be strong? Do I just want to be an enthusiast that influences and encourages and helps people be on track? And honestly, when I was reflecting on that, I realized that I was limiting myself. Like, I was putting a cap on me. Like, I was telling myself, yeah, but I would require this and that, like this amount of money to hire a coach and sponsors and that for stage, or I would, you know, I was really like limiting myself. And then I realized that, like, how it didn't make sense, because I raise my kids and I encourage everyone around me in such a way that you just don't set a cap, like, for yourself. Like, you can absolutely do whatever you want if you believe in yourself and you put your mind to it. Like, you go all in, you know, it's a passion. Like, I preach that to everyone. I raise kids to know that about themselves. But little did I know that I was, like, really restricting me. I think subconsciously I was telling myself, yeah, you know, but $1,200 a month for a bodybuilding coach, and then, you know, all the money for the bikini, and, like, maybe, you know, like, just everything. I was telling myself, yeah, I just don't think I could do it. Or, like, kind of like with this YouTube channel, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll be consistent, but, you know, I'll just kind of be mediocre, like, in the world of whatever it is I'm doing here on social media. And that's still not right. You know what? I'm going big. Like, I want that for myself too. I am done being so selfless that I forget that those same standards, the bar being raised, I should consistently apply that to my life too. And you know, I started this channel because it's a place for me to express my strong mind, my comebacks, you know, to be very raw and be very unfiltered. You know, I convinced myself that if, you know, I was able to blow up on TikTok based on being myself, sure, YouTube would love me too. But then the more I started doing my TikToks, the more I started growing specifically on that platform, the more I realized I was really impacting people's life in a positive way. Okay? And then that was so beneficial to me, you know, always pouring into other people, seeing people grow, like looking back years and years ago and seeing the, you know, my followers for who they are now, remembering where they started, you know, I take pride in knowing that I was a part, and a good part, you know, an impactful part in a good way. But while I'm busy doing all that, I tend to like forget about me and forget that same amount of positivity and energy that I pour into others, I deserve to pour that into me. And you would feel like this workout journey would have taught me that, because definitely I am participating in that action every single day that I go to the gym. You know, I build my body, you know, I watch what I eat. I'm very conscious about that. But I guess there was something that just clicked in my mind, and I realized that I also need to feel that way about myself too. I need to stop limiting myself. Like, if I want to get up on stage and I want to be a competitor at 39, 40 years old, I mean, I need to stop telling myself, yeah, but there's this and that obstacle. Absolutely not. We're going to conquer those obstacles together. But I don't even know if I want to compete on stage, because to be honest with you, throughout this journey, I have realized that I just wholeheartedly have been self-taught, like I said in a previous video, and like hiring someone to train me and take credit for what I look like after everything that I have done for myself. You know, now given my husband and you know, gym bros and gym girls and, you know, people along the way definitely have been there on the low days, and they remind me who I am, because believe it or not, I still need that in my life. But you know, I just wholeheartedly enjoy connecting with my people. I enjoy seeing people feel good about themselves, overcoming things. I do enjoy being able to finally own that a lot of, you know, there are a number of people that don't like me or misunderstand me. They don't know how to perceive me because I come across very raw and very unfiltered. But, you know, the right people do come along, and I found that on social media that they see through to my intentions, and they actually embrace and love that part about me. So I don't know what really my goal is to do with this, but I'm just trusting the process. Like I trusted my fitness journey when I showed up one day and I just kept showing up. You know, if I could do this well on my own, teach myself about macros, routines, responding to my body, listening to my body. If I can go out, put forth the effort and to find the resources and find the knowledge and learn and put that work in, I feel like, sorry, I'm trying to follow where I'm going with this. I feel like I can and I should do the same thing also with this channel. And like, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm trusting the process. That process, just like physically 3 years ago, that process can still be a process in my everyday life. You know, who I am, like mentally, mindset wise, like growing into whatever my goal is a process too. And I don't know where we're going, but I plan on going somewhere big. I want to go somewhere great. I want to know that I've helped others, and I want to know that helping others along the way has helped me. And like, I guess that's just kind of the goal here, you know, to find my people and to even someday for the people that strictly don't like me, I hope that they're watching and they're learning a thing or two, and maybe I could do good for them too. Because let's be real, after like 35ish, once you're like pending 40, okay, like the loading signal's on, you are just over other people's opinions. You don't really care. It doesn't matter who they are. Like, and honestly, even, you know, with all the chaos that I've been dealing with, you know, the growing pains, being a mom of adult children, even all that with with my oldest daughter, you know, all of my kids, I am starting to realize that my life is my own, and I am allowed to live my life for me, and there's no sense in, you know, saying the bar can only go this high. No, the bar can just keep on rising, both physically, mentally, financially. Like, wholeheartedly, I just want to be good for everyone. Like, I don't care. Things are not going to consume me anymore, not with anyone. I can be focused on me and centered on me, still set boundaries, and still love others regardless of what they think about me, you know, or how they treat me. I can still choose to not let their negativity consume me, but want what's best for them. And I think that's a true mark of maturity, you know. So something else I do want to cover, you know, before we disconnect this outro, you know, growing up, because I was married very young, and my marriage has been through it, some great mountaintops and some real low valleys. I will say that my marriage is evidence that you can choose to stay with someone for all the right reasons and choose not to leave for the one or two wrong things they've done. But I used to think, as a younger, naive version of myself, I used to feel like when Kurt would try to correct me or have some input, you know, there is such thing as good criticism. I used to feel like it was a personal attack. And I do think that some of that's sourced from like my childhood trauma. But a true mark of maturity is realizing that sometimes people come and they correct you and they make note of things, not to attack you, but because they see the potential in you and they know that you could do better, or they want to see you do better. So I know that that is also a part of getting older and like having a sense of maturity, is when you realize that not everything is a personal attack, you know. So remember that, friends. Y'all are freaking awesome. Stay that way. I appreciate all the support and the love that I've been getting. YouTube, we are growing. I think just in this last week, I've gained 8 followers. I appreciate that. It means the world. Let's go places together, guys. Let's make this happen. I mean, I would like to still have like my blonde hair versus gray hair by the time we're famous, right? By the time we're like paying our bills with YouTube, because that's the goal. But honestly, we're trusting the process. We're trusting the process. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay positive. Don't give up on your goals. Show some love and leave some feedback, all right? Danny Boo loves you.